Except one, aren't you going to American Relations program? Well, I can push that today. Okay, so yeah. So we can't even, because we have it in paper.
You do not have to present it.
Oh, okay. Okay, well, they have it.
It says you,
Okay. So you don't-
once they've been given it, on that, the statute says on that day.
and then I,
Oh, he came along. She brought her along. She's not calling names. She calls him buddy.
well, that's good, because it's in the paper, yeah.
Fat as a hog, silky looking,
Oh,
looks
she
good.
said the computer.
She gives him coconut oil, where it's cut, came by, straight right down the middle of the office, looking around in his office. But he looks for her when she starts looking around. Okay.
Yeah, so.
Lockers are.
Saturday? Not Saturday.
What is the name of it? Frank Ball is the pitcher.
Sure.
Said that, if nothing else, you have to. Make some big like two because that new rule that hasn't been out. Oh, he said, so we could watch some good.
Oh. Get a shot. You pick up.
He said like.
No.
They're all there.
I'll tell you. 42.7.
With that, college stuff.
So that's, I don't think
Cool.
well, I remember you called. I'm currently doing this thing. I partner. You need to know. No, I know what this is. Okay. No, my allergy. Yeah.
I'll leave that one.
Yeah. I just, I like to see it.
Don't need to appreciate it. Very good.
Eight. Close to him. How, I close, I was close. She's asking. Right.
Well, you know, it's a topic to go to college too. It's the same, just high.
They're all over.
Look at two, two trees, John got drafted. Big trees.
Angela.
Oh, Dean's not coming. We already know Dean's not coming. And William's on Zoom. The only one that would be would be Miss Maxine. I don't have, Fred, have you got, you called, I don't have Miss Maxine. He wants somebody to call Miss Maxine and see if she's coming. Yeah. Yeah, Dean told Fred, was it Dean told me he won't be able to make it?
No, they're gonna be right. They got somewhere next week.
Is it an independent league?
894-2832.
Fred called.
Well, he said, that's what he said, so they don't. So they, find out. This is his 8th year. You can just do it. No, they're Pennsylvania, Long Island. It's changed, so I'm going to tell you, because they said it was, it's a nice spot. I really like it. We played there several games. Atlantic League. Probably at 92 out of these. Yeah. Anyway, we can move it.
Yeah.
The guy that played with John Hill was a roommate of this guy.
Oh, don't tell me that. They got me so much.
I don't know where he was when he moved.
Yeah, I'll send it to you.
I said, just bring me stuff.
A lot of companies stand the way they're operating.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, and it should be. Yeah, yeah. Okay.
There's some flowers. Can't do away with her job.
Chris Benson.
She was, you talking about her wrong. She was, called her. But she wanted to first.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, but then, that's what they'll all say until it's, yeah, it's, well, it's what they put on there. There's, they didn't get their Okay. All right, thank you.
You don't have any choice.
I see your dad. First, they called him back up and for the double. He was down the street trying to do it. He got back home. As soon as he got back home, he got called and said, right, I'm serious. He drove back first, all the way back to Monday. I bet the days. We were sitting up in the restaurant. You're baptized. Yes.
Yeah.
See you there. He had fun, he came so close, he really stayed. It's agents, we were sitting over there. It's like, yeah, it's back tomorrow.
If you do it when you do, but if you don't, I don't know.
What? You know, get all that kind of stuff out of the system.
A lot, man. They do a lot. No, we're done.
Bring order to the chamber. Let's bow our head for the prayer. Howdy, Lord. We're really glad to be here tonight. You always give us a hand to guide us. And you take us by the hand sometimes and lead us. And we need that tonight to help us assure that we will provide what we need for this community. And at the same time, the community will be pleased with the results that we produce. So be with us, guide us, direct us as we go through these deliberations. In God's name we pray. Amen. Let's stand. Let's allegiance to the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I'll entertain a motion to approve the agenda as presented. All in favor say aye. Opposed, no. Consent agenda, I'll entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda as is presented.
Make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
All in favor say aye. Opposed, no. Okay, Fred.
Mayor, Commissioners. Have before you the final draft of the budget, excuse me, for fiscal year 2021-22. Represents a detailed overview of the current financial plan and use for John Benson. That's expressed in the memo that you have on the sheet. The final proposal is $13,144,402. Of course, anything can be added or deleted as president of the board. Presentations related to this budget have been presented at several board meetings starting in April, and an updated draft budget is presented today. Public hearing is set for June 8th, 2021, 7 o'clock p.m. In 2021, the town collected approximately $1,908,835 in property tax. And Johnson County performed the 7-year real property evaluation in 2015. The town of Benson will collect an estimated $1,894,184 coming year. Town administration and staff are recommending to increase the tax rate at 53 cents per hundred to 57 for up to the year. This budget reflects that fiscal rate. $1.57, with 45 for the general fund and 12 for the fire department. The base water and sewer rate increase of $1 per month. The value electric rate increase of 5% for both water and sewer. An increase in stormwater fee to $3. And a 3% increase in refuse collection. That is shown in the budget as well. Additionally, the electric rate reflects the elimination of the load management-based credit. As you remember, we authorized the grant of the new load management system based on some safety issues that the citizenry was experiencing based on that. The general fund, as presented, totals $4,892,880. With those items that you see listed there, the general government and boundary points and operations. The water and sewer fund is in at $3,428,239. The electric fund at $4,722,282. There's the reserve fund balance in the budget for $100,000. And the total for the next fiscal year being $13,144,402. So as far as our staffing, as we discussed previously, I'm sure that we got away with the memo in the last meeting. The budget reflects the new positions of abatement officer and the public works specialist, utilities recognition, starting in January of 2022. Also reflects the two new engineer positions in the fire department. An increase of a part-time customer service representative in finance to a full-time position. And the new lineman 2 position. Salaries for the town has been decided to implement the salary adjustments to all employees to be in 3 stages throughout the year. As we heard in the commissioners that one lump sum increase was final stage will be done in July of 2021. Excuse me, the first stage will be done in July. The second in October, the final stage in January. Salaries as reflected in the budget that you have before you in spreadsheets. It's approximately 18% of the total budget for the year 2021-2022. As far as benefits, the town will remain with the state of North Carolina health plan. Total average cost for medical, dental, vision, long-term disability, and wealth is concerned. Calculated 7,500. I see some puzzle looks so you're able to see
The new salary fees, where are they? Yeah, I got to that. Oh, okay.
so,
You know what I really would like to know? The cost or what we pay to them or what is paid out for them in insurance coverage. And tell me where that fits in that plan.
that's actually,
I didn't need to go ahead.
we remain with the state of North Carolina health plan, vision and dental insurance. Previously, it was determined that we would stay with our current providers, that being United Healthcare and Lincoln Financial, respectively. Total average cost for the medical, dental, vision, long-term disability, and wellness incentive is calculated at $7,500 per employee. See that on the second page.
So that's each employee, $7,500. Now, is that just one person or is that family?
They're
Included family.
Again,
Family's not included in that, you know, state.
the general fund, Benson's expected real property valuation for fiscal year 21 to 22 is $352,812,907. At that rate of 57 cents per hundred, this estimated collection for this valuation will be $1,894,134. The general fund revenues reflect payment in lieu of taxes amount of $15,000 for Benson Housing Authority.
Can I stop you there?
Sure.
Why do we collect 1.9 million in 2020 and it's going down to 1.8 million? Am I reading it? So the tax increase is still below the population collection. Says the calculation approximately 1.908 million in property tax. Blah, blah, blah. We collect an estimated 1.894 in the coming year. Why did it go from 1.908 to 1.8?
You have delinquents, that's like delinquent tax that's paid throughout the year that's included, and then you have depreciation in your, tax valuation.
So it's going down. And that's going down a lot because you're talking about, we got 1.908 at 53 cents, and we're gonna get 1.894 at 57 cents.
But you gotta remember that what we collected this year, the number that you have is also included delinquent taxes from previous years. That's why it's a little bit higher.
So does that mean we're gonna have delinquent taxes?
Yes.
We're gonna raise to
Yes.
1.894 to 1.
Yeah, you always have delinquent taxes every year. Because we don't get, right,
What's the ballpark total, average total of that?
we collect anywhere from 25 to 40. And I think this upcoming year we'll collect a little more because, typically we're at 100% collection rate, but this year we're not. I was just talking to Amy about that today. Probably about 85%. So I think we'll see, which we talked about how the county's not been aggressive on sending out letters and notices and stuff because of COVID. So I think we'll see that delinquent go up this upcoming year.
There's a proposed increase in curbside waste, recycling, and yard waste collection. Single can trash and recycling services currently $22.56 per month. Proposed adjustment is to charge $23.24, 4 cents per month starting July 1. This accounts for a waste industry's 8% consumer price index adjustment that will be effective on January 1, 2022. Money to aid in the cleanup of the First Street Yard facility. The estimated unrestricted net position for the general fund will be approximately $1,501,400. You see there. Fire protection, total of $753,320 in revenue anticipated by the fire department revenue funds. It's based on a 12-cent fire tax on the property taxes for the fire district, 12-cent property value for the town of Benson. Different additional revenue sources include hospitality at $15,000, at $83,057, fire inspection at $10,000, Funds are budgeted to make the annual debt payments for an existing fire engine cost of $86,477. The fire station building at $77,166. And fire utility at $3,400. Water sewer fund revenue is based on a 3-year trend of water and sewer consumption, sales. This time, a $1 base increase and a 5% volumetric increase is recommended to support the needs of the water and sewer fund. As required, the budget includes provision for debt service payments on road annexation, wastewater treatment plant, area sewer line, water system phase 1 and 2, MI water meter, wastewater treatment plant expansion loan, USDA outstation loan, and public works building loan. You'll see the figures that you see there. The estimated unrestricted net position for the water sewer fund will be approximately $281,000. For the electric fund, the budget is proposed at $1,722,382 for the 21-22 fiscal year. An estimated $299,009 of the budget is related to the 7% North Carolina sales tax. This amount is pass-through tax left forwarded to the state. Union approach has been taken in respect to power purchase and electric charges. Benson's wholesale power purchase costs are estimated based upon the full requirements of power purchase for Union energy plan. Conservative approach has been taken in respect to retail sales for Union. The electric budget does account for the continued lease purchase of a line truck, bucket truck. These annual payments are captured in the capital outlay line item of the electric budget. Those numbers were $47,011 and $50,209.44 respectively. The electric budget also accounts for pulling monies out of reserve to fund the beginning of the pole replacement project. This will account for replacement of poles over the next 5 years, and the need of replacement due to age, wear, and tear on the system. The budget also reflects a one-time purchase of a ditch. Also comes from consumer matters. The estimated unrestricted net position for the electric fund will be approximately $810,000 for. In summary, this budget addresses the goals and needs of the town as approved by the Board of Commissioners on February 27, 2021, board retreat. Financial investments identified in the budget are designed to address the POC goals attending to infrastructure, ensuring personnel, and public safety of excellent levels. Comprehensive land use plan that has been approved and is in progress. Aesthetics, code enforcement, and street paving, as well as quality of life in regards to the house of rent for its activities within the town. As we move forward, following areas really should remain focused for us to include transportation improvements, including the widening of I-95, installation of the roundabout at phase 1, stormwater repairs, water sewer infrastructure needs, and economic development opportunities. Thank you for the direction provided by the board. We are poised to address the future needs of Benson while serving our citizens and even our visitors with excellence every day. also have before you the organizational chart. It's only a bit different than it has been in previous years. It's gonna be looking like this one here.
Looking like what?
The organizational chart. I'm going to go through each and every one of them. If you have open positions,
That's what I do.
all positions for each employee in town, each department. You know, the workers at the head of the chart, staff, falling down to change.
Okay, so what page are we starting on first? We're gonna start already.
Yeah, here, it's a basic,
Oh,
rendition of what the organizational chart looks like. Basically, what you have before you commission is a partnership such as A. It's for more convenience to release that. Questions that you might have, so they understand any of the department heads itself. So the mayor, definitely go over any particular items that you have in mind. You need to filter
I guess the first question is, we're being asked to raise the tax rate from 53 to 57, right? How much does that, what is the average resident business, what is that in dollars they're gonna pay for you? What am I being asked to raise the tax? How much dollars?
You did that on the tax rate.
Tax rate.
Still, we're being asked to raise taxes, I don't know ballpark of how much that is. $50, $100?
You're saying across the board, what is it?
What is the average
53,
taxpayer gonna pay extra if we don't? What's it gonna mean? How much is the tax rate? How much? None of the property values, but property value is very much. What is 4 more cents gonna mean to you paying your taxes, you pay your taxes? How much is it gonna be just for the average person? That's what I'm asking. Oh, y'all can look at that thing. I have no question. How much of the budget takes money out of fund balance? How much of fund balance is taken in? Is any fund balance taken out, or are we gonna have to take money out of fund balance to make the budget?
No. It's budget not balanced, it's five fund balance. That would indicate this is, maybe that's the question, is something I was recently.
Do you
You
mean,
can't,
what do you mean, what was his question? Fund balance?
yeah, we have to take.
We have to take money out of fund balance.
You're taking, yeah, go to your main budget spreadsheet.
Uh-huh.
Go to page 2. I'm sorry, page 3. 200,200. That is 150 for additional paving on the project that we just approved at the last meeting. It's the remainder of the land use plan. So if you recall, we took $70,000 out of the current budget for the land use plan, but we're not going to use it because we haven't made that many payments on it. So it's going to go back. So you're using the remainder of the land use plan money, so that's $40,200. And then we just received that electricity grant, which we're not going to be able to use before June 30th. So it'll go essentially into fund balance. And so in order to be able to do that project, that grant money, we'll have to pull it out of fund balance in this next fiscal year. And then that's going into that economic development line item, so we can do the sod improvement that the electricity grant was written for. And And then, so that's out of your general fund. And then you're pulling 100 out of electric, which I discussed at the last meeting, so we can start those pole replacements, for infrastructure and that ditch, or so ditch.
So we're taking $220,000 out of fund balance from general and $100,000 out of fund balance from rec.
$200,200.
$220,000.
Just $200,200.
It says 220.
No, look at the last one, the recommended one.
Maybe I'm wrong.
Hold on. No. Oh, that might be a typo.
Yes,
And it's breaking.
That's the same thing that just.
Oh, yeah.
So my question is, if we've got to take $300,000 out of fund balance this year, what are we going to do next year when we have the same budget with the same salaries and all that stuff?
They're for specific projects. So you're pulling fund balance for street paving, which we all talked about 2 years ago
So
at the bordering tree. So that's street paving. And then the land use plan, which was already earmarked money for this budget, but we can't use it. And then the electricity grant, which is also earmarked money, but we can't use it until June. So we got the money, it's sitting in our current budget. It'll go into fund balance and then we'll pull it right back out next year in order to use it for that grant. But the fund balance is not paying for any salary, it's paying for those one-time projects. Like I said, street paving, we talked about, we've been doing that for the last.
and we've got money that's money earmarked for that. Has nothing. We're not shifting money from one place to pay the salaries.
No, sir. No, this was already planned years in advance. Okay.
So moving from the organizational chart, excuse me, I also need to back behind that. The list of past and grades for salaries for town employees. That's good. Should be behind that.
Fee schedule.
It's with the memo. Should be back in
You made an answer about the mayor's question
Yeah.
about taxes.
Oh,
So if your tax is $100,000, and 4 cents is gonna add $40 to your bill. If it's 200,000, it's gonna add 80. If it's a 300,000 tax value, it's gonna add 120. Does that make sense?
Okay, yeah.
so you see on the list of classes and arranged grades, full-time positions, town employees. I mentioned earlier that the percentage of salaries for the total budget is approximately 18%. Also, the manner in which we so that one can see happening in terms of dispersing those salaries would be three-phase disbursement as opposed to the one lump sum that we July. do that, in response to my thought, I was hearing from the board about how much was coming out of the budget. So the salaries fall within the ranges that you see on the classification sheet in front of you. None of our employees are at the highest range, the maximum amount. See this in there.
So, okay. I am on medication tonight, and it might be slowing me up thinking, but I need you to tell me what this is. So now the hiring rate you say is the first column. I see that. The maximum rate, you go from 25 to 39,423. Is that not right? All right. Now, is this this is 20 through 22, 21 through 22. So this is this year and next year, the rest of next year. All right. I'm just walking myself through this.
This is for, excuse me, this is for January 1. I keep saying January and July. So I'm going to see some July 1, 2021, January, excuse me, June 2022.
Didn't you say this salary increases right down to go starting now and then coming in there?
Well, that's what I'm trying to find out.
You want to,
So you said we're leaving from 21, and the balance of 21 would start in January 22. Is that what you're saying? Or is that not what you're saying?
what I was saying is that it would be three disbursements to reach our goals as far as each employee's salary. Starting July 1 and October, and January 2022. Looks like we did with the salary increases in 2020. Is that split disbursement?
So, so if we did it all in July 21st, we'd have a $398,000 increase or something like that. So what's going to be the increase? It's going to be close to that because we're doing it in October and January. We've got 6 months of 398,000, 9 months of close to it, and 6 months of a little less. So what is the real?
We got to this point, so I can share this with you.
Who wrote this?
What's not included in here is overtime, premium plan payments for employees. That is the worksheet that I use to parse out the salary increases. 3 phases, as you see there before you. One will to the left of it. 3-phase target salary for each position. As you recall, when we first talked about the salaries as indicated on this spreadsheet or similar one that we presented to you last time around, we got to the bottom figure, which was over $300,000 increase. We realized that the board was not amenable to doing that in one fell swoop. So, phase 1, you can see on the second page there for that phase 1 would be $27,000 expenditure for salary increase over what we had for this current year. Phase 2 would be $279,000. phase 3 would be 305.
Kind of say that another way, because I'm having trouble absorbing.
If I could say that the salaries that you see listed there in the current salary column, total salaries, even without adding the new positions that I mentioned earlier, 2.7 million. The next column over, which would be our targeted salaries, a total of 3.08 million, which is a difference of $173,000 plus dollars. Rather than do it all at once, phase 1, 2, and 3, as you see listed there, July 12th, phase 1, first page, October 4th, phase 2, January 10th of 2022, phase 3. We have some unfunded positions in there, so that means we are budgeting for those particular additional staff, as mentioned earlier. We're not funding for them now. They will not be hired until Public Works, for instance, sees that the demand on that service has increased so much that we need the additional staff. We would not expect that to be happening until the early part of next year. And so for phase 1, you see at the bottom of that column, at 207,777. So,
Let me backtrack, because I'm on medication too. So,
I think I am also.
so say again what you just said.
I just said that for phase 1, that total cost of salaries would be.
Oh, anyway. So you said that with the electrical line thing, we're gonna see if they need to, they've got it covered now, we're gonna see if we hire them, we get another person when they get busy.
No, talking about
Other works person, okay.
electric line, it would be.
Yeah, that's what I said, forget I said, that. Other works person. They're gonna, so what happens, let's say that they say, Other Work says, hey Max, we gotta hire somebody else, it's too busy. We need that help. Where does the increase in revenue accompany that? No, in real life. Yeah, where, if they say, Max, we got, board, we gotta hire another person to do public works because we become swamped. We were okay in June of 2021, but in December 2021, we're too busy. So how are we making the money that's causing them to need more people? That's
The revenue that you see in front of that, as well as the fees that are brought in for the different services that we provide. Sewer tax.
I think it's pretty good.
I know.
So, okay, so will that show itself, I guess is what I'm asking. I know that's a simple, dumb question. But we'll have an increase in revenue that will offset the expense of hiring somebody because we're,
Of course, it will.
okay. I still, the question, I gotta sit down, I'm having trouble drawing the math out. I'm having trouble seeing what the increase is for this year, the real increase, because the increase, I ain't reading it that way.
If I can back up and check myself and say, column 1, which is phase 1, the total salary is 2.919.
2.940.
No, by that time. Excuse me, 3 years.
For a year. But it ain't gonna be for a year. It's gonna be for 3 months. And then,
We would have spent only $27,000 more than we would have current salary.
okay,
And the same thing for salary escalation for phase two.
So it's just, without mapping it up too much, you're asking us for a $279,000 increase over the year. Because, well, it's 279, and subtract the 207, so that's 7 minus 72, you have 302, the difference is that 305. So, you know, we wouldn't increase it 305 just for a year because it would just be 3 months.
It's not 3 months, it's
Oh, wait a minute, that's right.
three phases.
Yeah, and so we'd have 6 months of paying 305 annually.
5,000.
3 months of paying 279 and 3 months of paying 207. For what I'm saying.
It's not what this reflects is the difference from the 2.9 is 2.7 that is current, 207,000.
Okay, 207,000 from July to October to September 30th. We're gonna be paying per year rate 207,000 more. So
As compared to this current year.
So as compared to this current year. So that's 3 months. So that's $70,000 more for that 3 months. Is that right? More. Because 210 for 3 months, 70,000 more. In the next 3 months, it's going to go up 280,000. So then we're going to pay.
As compared to non-stop.
Yeah, so we're going to add 72 more thousand, so 24 more thousand per month. Then, so we're at, what did I say, 70, and we're at 104,000 more a month. No, that's not.
I was gonna say, Commissioner, where are you?
Basically, on the bottom of this page right here, it says that it's broken down what it would be in a year, but that's really, in my view, not what we really would do.
Okay,
We're causing a salary increase of a smaller amount for the first 3 months, and then a bigger amount 3 months later that continues on in perpetuity, and then 3 months later, a giant bigger increase, and then it's full force for 6 months, and then on. Nobody called me.
I see what you're saying.
yeah, I do now.
So that's what I'm asking is what does it equal out to, you know, in the budget? There's got to be a number that it says the salaries. We're going to pay June 30th of 2022. We're going to have paid this much money versus June 30th, 2021 to pay this much money. That's the question I want. What's the difference in the money?
Difference. As you see here at the bottom of page 2, page 3, at 305,000. Also, we're talking about adding your unfunded position. See what the yellow highlights on page 2. Those 3. Mike.
Yeah, I have any
Some of
While we're, I guess, figuring out the calculate now, I'll just make sure I understand this. This is not a set rate increase across the board for. So who made the determination as to how this would be adjusted?
we mentioned last 2 meetings that Scott did a survey for what the salaries would be had in 2015 salary classification study and implemented. It time that would have brought us to certain levels. Of those levels, we go down each employee to see what's the year, what that employee does, what their expertise and education is. Talk to the department heads about certain salary rates. Came to these target salaries that I see, you see here before you.
So these salaries were not, I was probably there, so I could ask him where, when he did the market study, is he comparing this to other municipalities or this information that he got from UNC School of Government or?
What salaries would you add in 2015 salary study that people at that time? And from there on, even with the traditional way of doing it, that's effective around 5% salary. By the time we got to these numbers here, some were adjusted up, some were adjusted back. So we have a balanced budget. It's not balanced on anything other than it's solid. Still advocate for staff to see these target salary based on step education certifications that they have as well as their longevity. Yes, Commissioner.
Go ahead, William.
Can you hear me okay, Fred?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Okay. I guess my question is, in understanding this, I understand that this is the target salaries that everyone can reach by January the 10th. I guess what I don't understand is what is our normal program, or will our normal program continue? Will the employee know that they're going to reach this target by January 10th if this is approved? Are they eligible for any other raises in this fiscal year based on performance or based on anything else? And then what happens if not? What happens next July? Because I don't know this is a sustainable program for us to give every town employee a salary adjustment like this every year. So can you tell me what our current pay performance plan is, or what else are they eligible for other than this target salary?
Currently, we are looking at only the target salary. We came to the team that we started in July for next year, and we're planning for a program that is quite a bit different from this. I don't expect that we're going to have a massive disbursement of salary increase. We go back to our normal 3%, 5%. That's not fair. Up until the balloon kind of effect on people. So we'll be looking at different scenarios and have a different plan for 2023.
But from another angle, let's pretend that all the rest of the budget, expenses, and what we take in stays the same. We have this increase. We have to meet our budget next year. If we made this change, we have to raise taxes next year or not.
That's based on our revenue pictures that we're seeing now.
Is the basis then for this increase from 53 to 50, the real, or the true basis behind it increase in salaries?
Some of this is making my salaries comparable to what we see in our hotel. Most especially, if you took the names off of the sheet, these target salaries, in my view, insane. Especially when you think about bringing new quality talent in terms of the businesses.
Well, let me just throw this out because we had this meeting the other night. I'm just going to say what I heard, what I thought I heard the other night. We were talking about Glencore. Okay? And Glencore, that he was one of those that we brought up. And I'm just looking at this, what's being proposed now.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me what Glenn would be making after all of these adjustments on this proposal.
Glenn will be making 72
Okay, what is Glenn making now? Okay, about $2,000 difference. Now, I mean, I heard the accolades for everything that Glenn's doing and all of this kind of stuff. Now, HR director, what's he making now?
Making 64.9.
What would he be making under the 3-phase target at the end of the phase 3? I'm having trouble seeing how that is comparable. I don't get it. Maybe am I the only one?
No, I'm looking at the percentage now.
Well, there's not percentages. It's not based on percentages. I mean, you can look at it
Well,
and
the
see
first one,
the
the
jump.
first time it was.
Yeah, I saw, there's some percentages on one of those sheets.
On the first
The one
sheet,
that, yeah, the first sheet.
Pickett had a 16%. 16%. Chart had 22%. And when I looked down at some of your youth part-time workers, some of them didn't get anything, but one of your part-time workers got $1,000 increase, or $1,200. Okay, so I couldn't justify all of this in my mind because when it got to the people that's the core of the company, $30,000 people, they hardly got anything. I couldn't understand that, and go right back up here with Aaron.
We did adjust their salaries.
But I think you adjusted theirs in 2020 and 20. Oh, we gave them what, cost of living? We gave everybody a raise, I believe, in what, 2020? Didn't everybody get a raise? I mean, did they not? Miss Minute lady down there, didn't they get a raise?
Yeah, everybody got a cost of living.
Well, that's what I'm talking about. I'm gonna be very honest with you all. It just blows my mind, completely blows my mind to hear anybody getting a 22% raise. It does. It really blows my mind. I don't know any company that pays that kind of money at one time. And I see what you're saying here, but at the end of the day, it's still the same thing. Those are big costs of living. Now, I'm gonna tell you something. People looking for jobs every day of the week. It's just the way I feel about it. And if people are not satisfied with some of these salaries, I don't care if you got a master's. So you get your master's, some places don't even start paying you for your master's unless you move into a different position. HR, maybe he should have stayed in law. And he might have had his salary up to where he wanted it. But this is totally ridiculous. It is. I just cannot justify to the citizens of this Benson, North Carolina, why I'm sitting here voting for someone, or think I'm going to vote. Now, I know I'm not voting. For someone that is going to get a $15,000, $16,000 raise. And you got people out here can barely pay the bills. Now, how do I get out here and tell my constituents that? I mean, just how?
I'm gonna talk about one side on that.
Well, you do that.
And I'm with you on a lot of things. I don't understand a lot about it too. But I do understand too that you do have to pay the people that are being headhunted by somewhere else. The value is the cost of inflation. And, you know, it's one thing too, we have to realize that if person X leaves and it costs $51,000 to get somebody back in there, you actually lost something. I get that. But at the same time too, I'm having trouble absorbing this tremendous amount of money. You know, and I'm worried that we're gonna have to. I hear y'all, but I need. I'm worried that we're gonna come up and go, look, we raised it $307,000, or we're $207,000 short. You're gonna have to raise taxes 62, 65, 60. You know, I think we got to make sure. And I know this is hard to say, and I don't be. I'm impressed with why I say something that's gonna make all y'all jump out of their chair. I want, in my office, I want everybody to do the best they can. I want everybody to be happy and make their way. But you can't, we're limited. We're limited by the resources we have, so we have to weigh each thing out. And so I'm hoping that we can do as much as we can, but still, you know.
Max, what I think you're saying, I'm just saying, if I was employed here, and I looked at this chart right here, and I was one of those getting 1,000 or 1,200, and I looked at some of these others, I would not be happy. I would feel shabby.
Well,
I mean, I just use Glenn as an example because he was, and I think he's a good employee. But I mean, been here for years.
He was an example. I heard, he didn't want any more money. He just wanted time off. And so I was worried. I was thinking, he came in my head when I was thinking about this, about how we give him $10,000 more a year. He won't be happy because he can get time off. You know, so you got to give him a raise and then hire a bunch more people to give him time off, which he did. You know, and I think it's hard. I think it's something. I'm going to do what everybody wants to do and the best we can, and I'll stand up for what I do, but I'm having trouble absorbing. I've got to think a little more on it. And, you know, you know, I'll tell you something else. Let me say this one, then I'll shut up. I asked this other night, and we didn't kind of hit me wrong. I said, if we did this $389,000 raise, would everybody be happy? And I got to quit from that. Yeah. You know, it makes me think, oh, you know, so I'm just saying, we all need to have realistic expectations.
And I think that I wanted to say what goes in contact with that is exactly what Ms. Holly just said. The average person out there that's a citizen here that's voting for people sitting on this board and everybody else, you know, how are they looking at this? What do they say? Well, wait a minute. I mean, I know they're doing their jobs and they're employed, but I mean, I do a comparable job and I get a lot less than this. And that is the mindset of most people. You're increasing my taxes because you're just sitting here saying with the proposal you're going to increase their taxes. There's no doubt about that. You know, I don't think that's going to go over well with, I won't say constituents. I'm going to just say the citizens across the board here.
Well, I hate that this wasn't looked at in 2015 because now it's like we got to jump hoops to get them where they should be. And honestly, some of these increases, I mean, I understand the different phases, but at the end of the day, it's going to still wind up being that phase 3. And for the citizens, I mean, I am for people getting raises. You know, I've been to college and all, but I can tell you right now, you can see less. If I get a doctorate degree, unless I find a job that's going to pay me, you know, with us, they don't care what you go back to more education. If your job is this, they're not going to give you an increase because you went back to school. You have to find a job that is comparable to, you know, you have to find a job that's paying, or find a job that pays more than you already make. They just don't give you money because you have a degree. I got work with some managers that have no education. But that's just how it is in that world, not local government. But I think with us, and I'm sure this would get out in the news, our citizens are gonna say, you know, we got torque roads, we have potholes that need to be fixed, and y'all will give them raises. I'm telling you, because we hear that
Well,
stuff.
they are saying that.
That's what I'm
It's
saying.
not
Y'all
that they
keep
are,
raise
they are saying.
that big, and we got streets that need to be fixed, you know, and electricity bills are high, but y'all can afford it. I mean, that's the stuff that we hear. That the employees don't hear. It's a lot of stuff. I mean, I can't even go to the grocery store in Benson without getting complaints on our streets or electricity. It's always something. So I'm just sitting here. I don't mind giving raises, and I do know everybody that works think they work hard, even when some really don't. Everyone thinks they work hard. And I'm not saying anyone doesn't, but I'm telling you, they're going to have our heads if we go for these large increases.
It's done. You know, reflect back on Dr. Knight's comment about culture place. You have to consider that as well. Developing this plan. Culture change place, and then maybe even go weeks and months without a person in that position. And their job and services go back. The institutions that have followed from us today. What we heard from the employees, and again, Dr. Max mentioned, it's about more than a salary. It's about having the individuals increase the employee numbers. To have people on call as long as some are today. It's unconscionable. They don't get family. So we're bringing on more employees. So it's more than about the salary. The budget is to meet the needs of the town. The town needs qualified people, and enough people to do what needs to be done to service it. We do have a speech program. Could be better, sure. But we have programs. It's not like the streets don't ever get passed. Think about the truck going through down the streets. We don't have a program for that as well. In the meantime, we got to start somewhere.
Well, one thing we're not taking into consideration either, we're talking about streets, but there's other things that we know we're going to have to spend a large amount of money. And again, where's the capital coming from? Where do we get it? And we're going to be pushing some of this stuff on the citizens, and you are going to hear it. You're not going to be able to go to the grocery store. You can be shopping in Walmart or somewhere where it's safe. But changing the subject just a little bit, but I want to get on to it. This goes with what we're talking about. But, all right, this load management thing. We're taking these steps. I guess we're paying Johnny Boy to take them out now, right? Or we will be in the next little while. All right, and they'll be taxpayers paying for that to be extracted, right? Be taken out. Because we're paying Johnny. How much are we paying him to remove it?
$69.
You know?
Another percentage paying $10,000.
Okay. But we're paying that, and the citizen who says, y'all made a decision to put them in there, and now we're having to pay to take them out. Are the bills going to be reflecting this once they're out? You're not going to get the discount anymore, right? So that's going to be another increase on their bills. Now, a question that I've been asked by two people now. If you didn't engage or you didn't submit to that load management plan, where you didn't get the $15 off on your bill, right? Were you charged or assessed anything above that?
Back then, I remember correctly, subsidized service. And at the time that load management was brought in, the town did a deeper dive to understand how much it actually costs to get that service to the town.
Well, the person that was talking to me said that he had something on his bill that reflected, because he was not load management, that he got an increase on his bill because of that. Huh?
There's a load, currently the fee structure is there's a load management base and a non-load management base. And the load management base is less than the non-load.
But is that gonna be changed now that nobody's gonna be load
Yes.
management?
Yes.
So theirs will go down.
The load management will go up and the non-load management people will go down. It's all gonna be, remember it was the average of the two load bases and, put it at the kind of in the middle. So it was like an $8 difference either way. It was an $8 reduction for the non-load management, $8 addition for the load.
But let's say I didn't participate. He did not take the load management program. Then
Correct,
his bill's gonna go down something.
$8.
Okay, so he'll get a decrease. He'll see a
Yes.
decrease.
Yes.
But Max did participate, so
He'll
now
see.
his is gonna go up.
$8.
Were there more participating in it than were
It
not?
was even, it was like straight
About 50-50.
50-50.
Yeah, there were people like myself who did not have the updated appliances that would allow me to use load management, so I got access to total cost. I didn't have an opportunity to participate. So it was like that too, now, they get $30 more. 50, actually.
I didn't want to get you sidetracked. I just saying that's another amount, even if it's $8. It's $8 per month that some people are going to be paying that they have not previously been paying, or they have the luxury of $8 per month credit or whatever you gave them. So it just seems to me when you hit someone that's there and you say we're going to increase the tax base. You're going to increase the bill that you're getting by $8, and we're going to increase the salaries for everyone that's working here in the town. I just don't think you're going to have very polite citizenry when they hear all that. That's my thoughts.
Regularly,
Sir, the only thing that scares me about the 3-phase, I want everybody to be adjusted fairly that needs to be. The only thing I fail to see on any of the spreadsheets that we've looked at over the past couple of months is, y'all know I've worked for the town for 20 years. And so I'm in a pay grade, and so my position is assigned to a pay grade that is attached to a salary range, so that I know what the bottom end is of my salary range, and I know what the top end is. I'm not seeing any of that for the town of Benson. I'm just seeing these numbers, and I want to use two people as an example, and not just to point them out, but so Scott Tart's our HR director, and we've got a salary increase for the HR director. My question is, that's just a number. Is that based on the number that he's pulling because that's what the town of Selma's HR director is making, or because that's what Smithfield's HR director is making? Because in my opinion, if there's a salary range, Scott's only been an HR director for a year, which means that it is a lot. It should be less than somebody's been working 10 years. Just like Main Core, as the electrical superintendent, should be making a lot more than the electrical superintendent that has only been in position for a year. So I would like to see the ranges, and I think these text which you sent them to, they go along to justify these salaries before we vote on them, just so we know that they are in line with where they're supposed to be, so that we know where the future is going to go. Because I don't particularly like the cost of living rate. I think you should get paid for performance, and I think if you're a standard employee and you're doing a standard job, then you're going to get a standard salary, and you don't deserve a raise every year for standard. If you're an above performance employee, then you should be and have the ability to make more. And so I think we need to put that program together before we just start throwing arbitrary numbers at people. Just to make sure that we don't get ourselves in a bind in the future where they expect us to be able to do this every year.
if I can go back up to Commissioner Scott salaries as a point, which is 40. One of them indicated what the salary should be. That based on the classification of pay grades that you have before. fairest thing to do, opposed to them saying, this is what I would do. In that same vein, it should not be. However, I did want to mention that as far as infrastructure is concerned, if we talk about that just for a moment, we have grant writers out there looking for dollars for us to be able to tackle our infrastructure that we want to do to be able to serve the growth that's happening and coming to Benson. As far as again, I go back to programs that you see in the budget for streets, the training and the cost of lights and buildings is so exorbitant. I wish I could figure anyway, so about the president of the board.
And I too, let me just say this. First of all, I have to really applaud what you have done with and for this town. I really do. I applaud what you have done to bring this body together, because I know what this body, the mentality of this body when people left. I know that. But what really behooves me is how when you got them comfortable, people began to be ready to move up the ladder. Okay? Because I remember at one of these board meetings, I definitely remember it said that if a town employee wanted to talk to one of the commissioners, it was fine. This room was left open for comment to discuss anything they wanted to about the town manager. It was not done that way. It was not done that way. It was presented to one or two of the board meetings, and they members, and they brought it back to the board, which I did not appreciate, because it was left open to the town heads, department heads, that if they wanted to talk about the town manager, they could come. Now, when I look at these salaries here, which I am not happy with, because I'm telling you right today, I know a lot of people that would love to make current salary $75,721. I know a lot of people that would love to make that kind of salary. That would love to make that kind of salary come in a certain distance, insurance benefits, not living in Raleigh, having to drive, but coming to a comfortable place. Scott Tart has been in the business maybe second, third year at most. I think he's doing all right. I think if he wanted more money, he should have stayed in the law profession, and I would tell him that. I'm looking at some of the things, and I'm really like cool. Like Matt said about cool. You say he didn't want a salary, but yeah, he doesn't have the time off. Now, I'm telling you something, everybody's having times hiring people right now. Nobody's working because there's too much money out there right now for them to be working. But I'm going to tell you, I don't think you're going to have anybody, because they don't get the salary they want here, that's going to leave. And if they do leave, then you know what? There's somebody out there can replace them just as fast. It might not be the ones you want, but it would be somebody out there to replace them. So I do not go along with it. If I had to give you a thing tonight, it would be a straight across the board 2% raise. And if they didn't like it, it would matter. It wouldn't matter to me. They could go, because I worked in the school system 50 years, and I still don't make this kind of money. But I'm happy to be there, and I've not walked out of my job. So No, I'm not going on with
So if I'm working my math in my head, it's about 12 or 13%.
What was
Are you
that?
saying on an average or?
What it'll end up being, what will I pay extra 1 year from today, is 12 or 13%.
I think I worked out the first one at, for the one, when all of it, you talking about all three phases included, right?
As we sit here, it's 2.711 million, and as we sit here, Houston has 3.0, so 305,000 more. So, that's 270,000 more, be 10%. So 305,000 more is 12%. 13%. So about 13% raise total.
Well, I need to set marching orders.
Huh?
I need some marching orders. Should we do it salaries?
I think you should. Well, I can tell you I'm not voting for this one. I can tell you that. That's all I know. I'm not what you said, but I'm not voting for it.
It's easy for me to sit up here and say stuff like this, because I don't have to do it. And I get that y'all sit here and walk on the work, to do it. First of all, I would like to know what is the salaries, what is the percentage of salaries to the budget for towns around us? What are they paying salaries versus the town budget for similar sized towns, just so we can have something compared. Then the other thing, I get you. I agree with you that you can say to people in town, we'll raise your taxes, but you're not gonna get this service if you don't raise your taxes. Then somebody's got to make a choice to cut services or to raise taxes to provide more people, and that's a hard thing. That's a hard thing to decide. One of the things that nobody's gone to, which I'm getting ready to go to, is what I would do if it was an IDOT business is I would say, we're paying this, we're getting this, is it working? Is it working? And if we're providing something that costs us 10x and we're getting paid 9x or 10.1x, that ain't working out for me. So one of the things too we got to decide is, it's the same question I asked all ago about the adding on for people who get busy. How are we going to make money to pay that person? Or is it just people like, I'm busy. I'm too busy now. I need some more help. We just, okay, there you go. I think the biggest thing that worries me about the taxes, and while I'm saying things that will make everybody mad, I remember in Lewisburg, when I was in school in Lewisburg, I worked for the town. And I know it's not this way anymore, but this was in the 1970s. They would send us out to dig a hole. And went off to dig a hole for us to send in lots of people. And like it or not, people have that attitude. People have that attitude of government jobs, easy stuff. And so we got to show people that it's not. I know that's not true. But at the same time, we've got to fight the misconceptions people have, and we got to make sure that each person. I worry that some of the numbers are just arbitrary. And the arbitrary numbers that real dollars. We got to ask John Doe out there to talk about it.
Sure. It's needed. Several times. Want to make sure, based on all the things I mentioned before, then consider a salary and say no. Not into it.
Well, Dick,
Gnashing of teeth.
Reverend Fred, Deacon Fred, maybe you better go back and pray and ask God to give you the wisdom. You don't need all your backup. You might just need to come up with a salary increase that you think of is comfortable for the team and for your employees. Now, if you think this one is, I don't agree with you. I think you better consult God and you and like this salary budget. I really do, because I'm going to tell you something. The newspaper get a report of this, then he's going to think you are not a good steward of the money for the people of the town of Benson. That's what they're going to think about you. So you look co-team, whoever your team is, the heads, you need to leave them in the back room while you do your own budget.
So, so for each phase, like phase 1, 2, and 3, are those numbers considered like the minimum and the max for those positions? So it's a third. So really those salaries pay more than that. Are you saying really those salaries pay more, but this is what we're gonna, this is what's proposed to us? When you say a third, what does that mean?
So for the 89,000, I'm 30 days stage one. Another 30 days stage two. And last stage three. And that is true for all these salaries now in line, especially for department heads and for those that are not. We looked at and talked with department heads about budget and tasks that you were given as well. That package that you had to get. What we say is they do before you come in and they should be those kinds of questions. Based on that.
You know, again, I'm throwing out things I know that my little man is saying. I would think, if it's 12 or 13%, I would like to see us maybe consider if it's any way possible. Let's split the difference in half and do a 6% raise this year and see if it's up 6% raise next year. Yeah,
6%?
6%, cut it in half, give raises. We make the total amount we raise 6%. Instead of 305 would be 152,000 each. I'm just talking in the ballgame. So it's 6%, because I just I get it. Yeah. They might, I just worried that it's on them. It's us sitting right here to have to decide this. We're the ones going to be responsible. We're the ones that nobody's going to blame. Really, anybody out here, it's us. We just got to make sure that we do something we can.
Let me ask you a question. If you know, how many new employees have we hired in 2021? Any idea?
I'd have to go back and look at Scott's stuff, because I'm not in the hiring process anymore since we hired Scott. It's been quite a bit. And I know we've lost some because we don't have the salaries to pay them.
But how many have we hired? I think if we're grossly wrong in our salary makeup, if it's just underpaying people, I would think that we're not hiring people back. I may be wrong in that analysis, but that just seems to be the way I would say it.
This is an often yes. I would guess that higher than so I'd say zero.
I think there's been 8 people left this year because of salary.
So have they been predominantly, which area is it? Police department, public works?
All over.
Yeah.
Well, let me make a comment. You know, the thing that we're talking about here has a lot of pieces to it. And a lot of those pieces have come into play. We do know what the towns in Johnson County pay. The only thing I saw in that analysis was Garner was in there. I don't think Garner is a good comparison. But it cost us a lot of money when we have an employee walk out of the door, whether it's a policeman or the human resource director. It's a lot of money to train somebody else. And I think what we really have to do, because this is a problem, what we have to do is to come up with a program, not just a plan. When I say a program, there's no reason that we should give the increases in salary all in 1 month. And most people that, and other towns, I think probably if we ask some of the other towns, they would tell you that when the person's hired, that's their date. And they'll be reviewed then, and if they're due an increase, then they will get it. And to have a program that says, you know, if your performance rating is this, you know, this is what the board has decided that we're going to give as a percentage for that group of people. And I know Fred's done a lot of work. I know Human Resources has done a lot of work. Tim and Kim and everybody else has done a lot of work on this to try to come up with a program that we can, number one, satisfy our constituents that's out looking at what we're going to give them for next year, and at the same time give the commissioners something that they can chew on and can swallow it. So I don't know really what the commissioners want Fred to do, but I think we have to tell him. I know you told him what you like, but what is his walking orders? Because we're supposed to have a budget by the end of June. So what are you looking for Fred to do?
Craig, can you hear me?
I can.
You might answer this question for me because it's in the salary range for 21, 22 that I've looked at a few people, but I've not had time to look at all of them. How many employees right now are getting paid salaries below the current salary range for 21 and 22?
I'm not going to sheet to be able to tell you that, Commissioner.
Everyone I've checked so far is above the minimum of their salary range. And so they're actually in the ranges. So for these questions, my follow-up question is that have our salary ranges for 21 and 22 being compared with other towns that are the South? I don't care about the individual salaries as much as I do the ranges. So are the ranges comparable with other communities our size?
That went into the construct of this particular lesson grades.
I know that. I'm not talking about it. But, I don't know what towns you guys compare it to. The drainage office, maybe come down from it. Forest is this, and Burns this, and Irwin's this, and Selma's this. I don't care about law. I don't care about law. I don't care about land.
We can give them a copy of that. And There's, there's other things that have been looked at. And give the commissioners a copy of all of it. And let them make a judgment on what they want to do.
Based on our time constraints, working on a routine daily basis, and you have kind of a short window, that's something.
Do you know what you need to do?
No. Okay.
So y'all tell them what you want them to do.
I have a suggestion that we try to continue that with a 6% increase, but if anybody spoke to that,
Up to what?
6%.
I can agree.
Now, I can live with the
Now,
6%
I
over,
can't.
but I'm not going to, no higher than that. I'll tell you that. Because if I do, I would be bumping it back down to straight across 2%. And anybody wanting to leave, they could leave.
I'm not talking about 6% across the board.
Huh?
I'm talking about some people might get 3, some people might get 9.
2 cents.
Total of 6% is what seems, without thinking about it, seems
For my 6% of the total.
yeah. When you come back to money that we got approved, we don't care about Bob gets 10,000, Bill gets 1,000. We care about what costs us 150,000 every year.
I don't agree with that.
Well, I was gonna say, I don't know that if there's a problem with some people walking off the job because they feel like if they're underpaid and you get $1,000 compared to the other one that gets 6 or 7 or 8,000, I think it's gonna be right back in the same money.
Hey, the person on the bottom of this totem pole, I assume not everybody in the audience has a copy of it, and I'm assuming every employee not have a copy of it. You're not gonna really know. They shouldn't be knowing the salaries of everybody else. They will.
And it's not fair for them to sit here and make 30,000 and they've been here 40 years.
That's how this is.
And somebody else makes.
Aren't all these lists that are publicized, and you go on the website and look at them?
I would think you would be able to,
They all,
huh?
it's public.
And it should be.
So,
So no, man, Dr. Man, I can't go on.
Well, I think there's still people that you want to keep. And you don't, you wouldn't, just like sponsors, I got dollars that make hundreds of thousands of dollars. I got people that make $12,000. They ain't all gonna get $50,000. They ain't gonna get that one dollar gets $20,000 a year raise for the person making $12,000. I know you say percentage, but in the real world, in business, you pay them what the market says and what keeps. If you got a person that's valuable, you got them. I get that. So I'm talking about this like a math. I do understand that you can't just be cutting value.
we already see commissions that we were to fill the vacant positions. Benson for the electric line tech, 36,400. You have to raise that already. You have to be able to attract anybody. And same thing goes for our public works specialist. You have to bump it up in order to be able to attract people from another town that are doing the same work, but they're taking a pay cut and work with us because they want to work with Benson because of the environment that they be working in. And what they believe, at least at this point, is a great town to work for. And so we're already having to offer more than what you see on the street. If you have to, and do it for the police, at least for one person, and they're saying we'll have to keep on doing what we're keep our salaries low and stay at the same.
I'm not saying keep the salaries low. I'm just saying don't increase it to the increase that you got here. I'm not saying keeping the salaries low. And I will vote for a reasonable salary, but I'm not voting for this kind of salary. I can tell you that. So I think you as manager need to get in there and you figure out your own budget to present to me. You don't need the department heads to feed you no information. They didn't do it like that, and I don't think they should do it to you. And I'll see Mr. Lee because if I'll see him, I'll leave that alone. But that's just it. I mean, I cannot justify doing this. I might would feel better, but most of these people don't even live in Benson to contribute none of the money back to Benson. So,
I will say this, I think, and I don't disagree with that for the most part, but I will say this, it may be helpful during the next week, you can individually talk with Fred and give them some, if there's certain areas that you clearly have a problem with on this, I think we need to make you aware of that. Now, you can use your final call to put up whatever numbers you want to, but I think we should have input.
That's good. We want to say that these numbers that are on this page said, understood that they might believe that the team under influence, but that's not the case. It's simply not the case. I am a social worker / mental health professional by trade. And so I look at things differently. I look at people, what people bring to the table. If they bring the potato salad, they're going to take home chicken, potato salad, beans, and lemonade. That's too much for the plate for that person. I look at people, I look at them. I don't think any of our employees are not worth it.
That's not going to pass. I'm just telling you, I don't think it's going to get passed. So you better
We
revise
make that distinction. I don't want.
well, Mr. Manager, let me say this to you. I hope the same loyalty that you have towards your employees, I hope they will have that same dedication to you. Now, and when I say that, I mean not going to one or two members discussing business. And if one or my constituents come back to me and tell me something that somebody have said, and he passing it on to the board, then I got something to tell him too, because I didn't appreciate it. They didn't come and tell us nothing about, well, they did. They didn't listen. You sitting on the board. When they told you about Max App, did they listen? Did you tell them? No. So I don't appreciate them coming back and telling me nothing either. And if they do, I will be willing to see them walking, get the walking shoes, get the step.
Again, for clarity, talking about a 6% increase in salary or up to 6%.
Now, what about what Commissioner Neighbors mentioned about, well, I guess we don't have pay grades here, right? It's just a salary. So that's this is considered as a pay grade?
It's pay grades and classifications.
Oh, so this is.
And the town is sorely new in that. Needed to approve by
Never said it.
other aspects of the budget, including salary. I will go back to the.
Thank you.
That's serious.
Do you know what you got to do?
Thank you,
Okay, Kim, discussion on fee schedule.
This does not have to be voted on tonight, this just has to be with the public hearing that we are doing for, starting tomorrow. So the very first thing you have is the, proposed fee schedule. You will see on page 3, all the changes that we made, in the amend to change schedule. You'll also see everything highlighted throughout the budget in yellow, or throughout the fee schedule in yellow, of the changes that we made. We updated our planning and zoning fees, we updated the electrical fees, we eliminated load management. There's the increase in the refuse charge, plus the addition to the civil penalty that we discussed at the last meeting for pulling trash cans. There's an increase in the base and volumetric for water and sewer, 50-cent increase on stormwater. We've had this adopted for a while, but it's not been in the fee schedule, the renewable energy application fee, and then we just updated some information on for the auditorium, and we increased some park fees. So again, like I said, everything in the fee schedule is highlighted in yellow that we had changes. Y'all have 2 weeks to go through it. If you have any questions, you can give me a call.
Capital improvement. Anybody have a question on the fee schedule?
The capital improvement plan is should be adopted every year. We typically do a 20-year plan, which we talked about last year, but that's just really long and drawn out, and we typically don't make it in 20 years if fixing problems. So we reduced it this year to a 5-year plan. Keep in mind that capital improvement is anything over $10,000. So it looks a bit different than what you're used to seeing, but it is the plans for the general fund, administration, zoning, the police department, park, street, stormwater, fire, water, sewer, and electric. And then at the very end, where we typically have like vehicles in the capital improvement plan, there's really aren't capital improvements. We consider capital improvements like infrastructure or building improvements. But we did, just so you guys could see what we have as far as fleet management was concerned, that is on the last page, and there's also a 5-year plan of when we would need to start replacing some equipment in each of the departments. The only one that you'll see that has equipment sort of in with the capital improvement is the fire department, because obviously we're spending $400,000 on a truck. That's a little more than a piece of equipment. So that is in the capital improvement plan, because we have to typically plan for those types of purposes. Again, if y'all have any questions on that over the next couple of weeks, feel free to give me a call.
Utility customer service policy.
And then the customer service policy, we made a few tweaks to this. Again, we added some information in there about solar energy. It's something that we've had for years, but we didn't have anything that specified it in the customer service policy. So we had some stuff adopted, I think, back before I came. And so we just put that verbiage in there. Anything that was changed is in yellow, just like in the fee schedule. It's just very basic information, updated some stuff as far as the website was concerned. The main portion of that is the solar information. If you have any questions, let me know.
The Town of Benson American Relief Program.
So the last meeting I came, we added it to the agenda for the American Relief Program, the money that was the new COVID money coming down from the state. I had turned in all the information that we needed to the NC program, but we have to have a specified account for the money to go into when it does come. So this is just a project amendment or project ordinance to when the money comes, I have a place to put it.
So we need to vote on this.
Yes, sir. This one you have to vote on.
We approve the statement of practice.
You make a motion.
You did.
Is any discussion, everybody? All in favor, say aye. Opposed, no.
Thank you.
So we need to sign this, right?
Yeah.
Town manager's report,
I have nothing out like that.
town attorney,
I don't have anything unless there are questions.
board of commissioners. Aye.
Yeah.
That's all.
I think I said enough still.
Jim,
Good. Fred started talking about potato salad mess over there a while ago. I can't even see it over here. Got
Yes, and eat.
chicken, potato salad. Bring it to the table.
we apologize for getting started late tonight, but I appreciate everybody coming in. So I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
I make a motion.
All in favor, say aye. Opposed, no. All right, thank you.
Max, tell Will I said congratulations to him. I just found that out.
Yeah, he's got a place already.
Oh, good.
Won the PC